All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us today for our webinar on Business Central. I'm David, working at Trendsoft, and we just appreciate you guys joining us to learn a little bit more about Business Central. Just a few housekeeping things here. You will see a Q&A section on our Zoom call here. So if you need to ask any questions, you can put your name in there and you can see we'll be able to see those questions and hopefully provide an answer. If we can't answer right here during the webinar, then we will get back to you. We promise. All right. So allow me just a second to share my screen and we will get going. All right. And I will say one more thing. If you're you don't have to take notes today. You feel free if you want. But we will share this webinar with you if you just put your name in the Q&A, so we can send a follow-up to you guys and send you the link to our webinar. All right. So I did mention I'm David. I work at Trendsoft. I'm the Director of Business Development here. And so, and you are in the Dynamics 365 Business Central webinar. So we're glad to have you. We have another colleague here, Callie, who is joining us as well from our marketing team. And so we're ready to kick it off, guys. So just a quick background on Trendsoft. So we were founded in 1996. So we've been around for a while. We have been partners with Microsoft for a very, very long time. We have a lot of experience with Microsoft. We are a gold partner with them, meaning we have a very tight relationship with them. And we work with Microsoft as the foundation of all of our products here at Trendsoft. So we're very, very experienced in the process of helping with finance and operations and Business Central, and for many, many years. And we have more than 200 clients across the United States. So just a little background about what we're talking about today and the reason that you guys are here, and a little bit of the sort of the foundation for this. We're looking at financial management and some of the challenges around that. So there's a lot of data out there. I feel like there's data everywhere. Every system has data. So learning how to manage that is so, so important. A lot of people are coming from more manual systems where they're more error prone. People are doing things by hand, or there's paperwork involved and that kind of thing. And so a lot of you guys are growing as well. We find a lot of our customers are moving on from a smaller system or even a homegrown system. And so things are getting more complex and they have more demands on their business. And so that's why they're looking at something new. And that's something that we specialize in here at Trendsoft. But this is just a quick overview of all the different pieces of Business Central. And it will do all the things that you see here on the screen. Not everyone needs all of these pieces. So sometimes we have people in healthcare that they're not selling a product. So they might not need warehouse management and operations or necessarily supply chain, but they're really concentrated on financials. Then other people that do work with products and solutions and really need a whole list of SKUs and products that they sell and that kind of thing. But Business Central it's got you covered. It can cover all those the gamut of those different things. And so really some of the advantages of it, if you want to be able to adapt, as I was talking about, and grow, this is a very modern product. It's cloud-based, and it is updated all the time from Microsoft themselves. And so what we do at Trendsoft is we implement that solution. We customize it for our clients. And then, but because it's built on the Microsoft Foundation, it's very easy to adapt, and we get constant updates. It's got great interoperability. So if you work already in Outlook, Teams, Excel, even Word and that sort of thing, it's a part of that huge suite. And you'll see a slide here in just a minute. So it's very, very easy to interoperate with all those different products. And as I mentioned before, it's not just financials. It can work across your whole business. And so here is the quick picture of let me jump back to that. Of the suite of what it looks like here. So with Microsoft, you're working with Outlook and Excel and all the, PowerPoint even, and Power BI, if you know what that is. We'll talk about that just a little bit today. So it is a fantastic way. It just complements that whole stack. And there's really no other ERP solution that has that kind of connectedness because it's Microsoft. And it was actually voted as the best overall cloud ERP in 2023 by Forbes Advisor. So just wanted to highlight that. They have a 5-star rating, and obviously it's very, very integrated. It includes some fantastic data reporting and dashboards, and we're going to talk about those in a few minutes too. You'll get to see them. And last slide before we go into our demo for the webinar. This was a study that was done about Microsoft Business Central. And I'll just highlight that return on investment, 162%. Now, this is a 3-year benefit slide here, but 162% return on investment. And so this particular company, specialty manufacturing, actually found that they were able to reduce staff. Now, that's not always the case, but it had a big benefit for them because they had so many complex systems. And when they simplify, they were able to simplify their staffing as well. And so for this company, they said, we got everything we need in one tool. And it really worked out well for them. Okay, so we're going to jump into our demo. And we probably have about 15 minutes here of demo. We really want to keep our webinar to under 30 minutes. So I am going to jump off this slide. And I'm going to jump over to our other tab. So Business Central, as you may already know, is all cloud-based. There is not a server on your premises. That's something that we, as a company, Trinsoft, work with Microsoft. We set up a server that is cloud-based, and it is software as a service. So you don't need a local computer. These days, that is the trend for everything. It's been that way for 10 or 15 years, actually. So we don't want you to have a server somewhere in the basement that somebody trips over a wire and you've lost your system. And that is not the case. All you really need is internet access to access your Business Central. So this is the main screen in Business Central. And I won't give you a comprehensive tour, but I'll just show you a few pieces. Obviously, company name up here, and this is a fictitious company and fictitious numbers, which is good because they have some overdue sales invoices there. All right. But there's a menu up here at the top, and this is all fully customizable. So there's a menu at the top. There is a whole section here for like quick actions. So when you see this plus, it's just like, I want to make a new sales quote, boom. So there's a quick actions there. The activity section kind of shows us some main numbers. And again, we can configure all of everything you see on this page, actually. And then these tiles are in categories of commonly used items and areas. So I can just jump in here to my sales quotes quickly, and it shows me that there's 4 of them that are sitting in process. So there are multiple tiles here. And again, I can fully configure this section of the homepage. And then even down below, I've got things like there's a chart that shows me the business performance, who's buying from us as a company, and where most of our business is right now. And so all of these pieces are clickable, actually. And I'll just take this one as an example and just click on this. And then, so this customer, what's called the customer card, which is really just all the details about that customer. That customer card pops up. So that's one of the great things about Business Central is that everything is clickable as you go through. So I'm going to go back. And again, you're going to get tired of me saying it, but everything's customizable. So here we are on a page about customers, and at Trinsoft, we can help customize anything you want on all of these pages. All right. So I'm going to go back up to the top of this page and just highlight 1 or 2 more things. So at the top right, I've got a search bar. On some products, a search bar is not that useful, but actually it is fantastic in Business Central. So when I click search, if I want to search for items, for example, I get a lot of suggestions. So I can go straight to the page called items. I can look at some reports that are related to items itself. I can actually search help for the word items. So I have a huge selection of things I can do on the search bar. And actually, we find that our clients use this a lot. So it's almost easier just to go to the search and type that in, and than it is to like navigate through a lot of menus. So you can get right where you want very, very quickly by using search. And help is the same. So there's a help icon up here, but you actually get the help suggestions right there in the search bar as well. So fantastic and very, very useful. So I'm going to show you roles because this is a really important thing for a lot of our customers. Who gets to do what? All right. So I'm in a role right now that's called a business manager. And if I click the settings icon up here at the top right, and I go to my settings, I have a lot of settings for the just for me that are specialized for me, but then I can change my role. So I'm not going to do that right now, but there are a lot of different roles across Business Central, and that just allows certain people to do certain things. It has to do with permissions, so you might not want the same person putting in orders and also billing or whatever it may be, or working on the shop floor or something like that, depending on your business. So you can configure all of these. There's a lot of pre-built roles, and I'm going to stick with Business Manager today because I have a lot of permissions that I want to use for our demo, but there are a lot of places you can configure. And I will show you quickly, I can personalize this page. So when I click personalize, everything looks a little funny in terms, I get these red boxes and I can move everything around. So I can really, really make it exactly what I want just for me. All right, so we're going to jump in, we're going to make a new sales quote just as an example. So I'm going to use this quick actions menu and click sales quote, and then you'll get an idea of what we do here. So I can choose from my customers. I can start to type a name, or I can choose from my customers here. I'm going to pick the top one. Again, all fictitious companies. All right. And so for this sales quote, I'm just going to make a few little adjustments here. I will pick an item that will go on here. Let's say these guys are buying coffee beans. A little late in the afternoon for coffee for me, but you know. And I can enter my quantity in here. All right. So we won't fill out all of these pieces, but I can put in a few items here as well. Let's just say $20 for a price. But again, this is all configurable, and you'll see there's a lot of information on each of these pages. All right. I will actually highlight this. You know, this says this customer has an overdue balance, so it's intelligent enough to look into this system and say this customer has an overdue balance. I can click show details and it'll tell me a little bit more about that. In this case, this customer I've used before, so they keep buying a lot of coffee beans and they never pay. So I guess I got to help them out with that and make sure that they pay. So, but we'll just use them as an example today. All right, so I have a few options that I can do now. Normally I would want to do something with that sales quote. So there's a built-in send by email. The simplest thing for me to show you today is just a preview of the quote itself. So if I click preview, I'll see basically a PDF version of this sales quote. All right. And of course, like nobody's really printing and mailing these things these days, but I can use this as a PDF file and just email it as an attachment, or I can send it to somebody else in the office if I need to. Whatever I need to do, there I've got my quote. All right. And that was just preview, but then I can choose to print it out or send it or whatever I want to do there. All right. So I'm going to release this one. So we're going to assume that somebody has seen the quote, that they've said, we're interested, we want to move on with this, and accepted the quote. And we're going to turn this into an order. All right. So I get a little confirmation boxes. Are you sure you want to create, convert this into an order? And I'm going to say yes. So the order is made, and then it asks me, do I want to open it? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I'm in the order world. I am able to make whatever changes I need to make here. All right, let's say they've confirmed actually that they want 15 boxes or whatever these are of our coffee beans, and making any adjustments I need to make on this page as well. All right, but that's just an example of things that I could change, but I've got a wide variety of details about these items. All right. Okay, so my next step here, I'm going to actually release this one. All right, and then I'm just going to go back to the home screen. All right. Oh, let me point out here on the right-hand side, I do get some quick information about this customer. So I have some more customer details and some information. Again, customizable, but I get a sort of a preview about what's happening with the A Datum Corporation in this right-hand panel. All right. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back to my home screen here. All right. And let's have a look at invoices. All right. So I'm going to show you the menu here. So under sales, I have a lot of options. And actually, I have these configured as my sort of most popular options that I want to choose. But if I choose this, the three little lines menu, sometimes called the hamburger menu, I can see all the different options that I have here. So if I say explore more roles, I have many, these are just subcategories. So under purchasing, it has its own set of options there. All right. So I have a lot of different options and things I can do within Business Central. So not everything applies to everyone. I don't want that to be overwhelming to you. But if there is an area that you need to work in, for example, human resources or more in sales and marketing, there are products and connections for that. All right. Okay, so yep, I'm going to go into my invoices. I'm just going to go to sales invoices. And I do want to highlight something on this screen. So I'm just looking at a list of data. And there are other ways to view this data. If you want to see it as tiles, you can see it in this sort of view. Sometimes people do want to see it like that. It's just sort of more natural for them. I'm going to go back to the list view. And one of the great things, because this is built on Microsoft's platform, is I can actually edit this or view it in Excel. So I'm going to click this little share button, and I have multiple options. So if you're using Teams, you can actually share this page in Teams. But I'm just going to say open in Excel. And you will get a view into what this looks like. All right, so I like how it does the multicolor for me automatically, but this is the data literally on this page. So if for some reason I needed this list because I wanted to do something with it, or I have another process at my company or organization that uses this set of data all the time, I can easily pull it into Excel because these applications are basically cousins, right? They're both made by Microsoft, all right? And you actually have another page in here, or another share option that allows you to edit that in Excel. So you can open up this, and if you needed to change multiple things at once very quickly, you can do those multiple changes, and then you can publish it back, and it will actually go back here. A lot of our customers do use the open in Excel. Not as many use the edit in Excel option because they find most of their work is already naturally working in Business Central. So it seems to be kind of a natural place for them. All right. So this is the sales invoices page. I can pick one of these. You want to see a little more detail? All right, so I can see all the details about that invoice. Again, I can do the similar options that I had before. I can print and send this. I can send it as a pro forma or the actual invoice. And then I can release this so that it's all ready to go. And then I can actually post it here as well. So under posting, I go in and post this so that it is tracked and registered in our financial system. All right. So that is the sales invoice page. And I told you you get tired of me saying it, but yeah, you can configure this page. All right. You can choose what you want to see here. You can take things off or add them, that sort of thing. So as much detail as you want and want to be able to take action on that page, you can do that on this page. All right, just a little warning that it hadn't been posted, and that's fine for the purposes of our demo. So I'm going to click the company name at the top and go back, and we're just going to look at the customers page just for a second, give you an idea of what this looks like. So these are our customers. And I can choose any of these, and I will get, I think I showed you earlier just quickly the customer card, just because we were playing around with that on the homepage. But again, I can make edits and changes to this customer. Anything I need to do, I can talk about their payment terms, and I get a little bit of stats about that company as well at the bottom. All right. So that's the customer card. Okay, last thing I want to show you on this side is the chart of accounts. Okay, so many of you guys, if you're working on the financial side of your organization or your company, then this is the page you're like, oh, finally, the chart of accounts. This is what I've been waiting for, or the numbers that you're used to seeing all the time. So just wanted to briefly show you this page. And of course, this is a part of our process as we work through things with you guys, as we set up your chart of accounts to match your previous chart of accounts and any changes that you have if you're making changes to your company and your organization. That will be done at the time of implementation if you choose to work with Trinsoft. So I just wanted you to see this page. And again, everything clickable. So I want to look at cost of goods sold, the COGS on this. I can click in there and see all the details about that number. So it's one of the things that our clients love about Business Central. Just you see that number, you want to get in there, you just click it and you're there. So very, very nice in that way. So I want to jump in and show you Power BI very quickly. Power BI is a product that we use for visualizing data, and it is another Microsoft product that is very, very much tied to Business Central. So again, it's a cousin, it's a member of the family. And if you choose to work with Trinsoft, we will include one of these Power BI reports as part of your process. And honestly, our customers look at these Power BI reports like, that's what I've been waiting for forever and ever. Absolutely love it. And so if you're moving on from, or if you're using Excel and you're looking at moving on from that, this is like Excel on steroids. I mean, it will take all of your data and make it very, very visual, very, very interactive. So just as an example, and again, all sample data, you know, if any name is there that you know, it's just a coincidence, I promise. And so you can choose in a year here at the top. So let's look at 2021. All right. And this is great for your finance team, but you can put any data you want in Business Central. So we have customers that want to look at usage on different chemicals or something like that, or that sort of data. Almost any data you can imagine. If the data is out there, then our team finds a way to make that visible and usable by you. So I can change these years at the top. If I want to drill into a certain company, I can do that as well. So as soon as I click this, well, this is by market. So if I click this APAC region, so Asia Pacific, I instantly, everything changes. And now I'm just looking at Asia Pacific sales. All right, if I click that again, that will switch back. So everything is clickable on this page. All right. Last thing I'm going to show you today is our final slide here. So I'm going to jump in and just show you what our process looks like. Oops, somebody go to present. Oh, let me jump on there. The last slide. There we go. And just to give you a really brief overview of what this looks like for us, at the end of our process, I mean, at the end of our presentation today, I really wanted to show you what this looks like. So I'm going to jump to that slide. Hang on one second. Oops, there we go. So in our implementation process, we do what's called a process workshop at the very beginning, and that helps us understand everything about you as a company. And then we move on to installation and setup. So there's a lot there in the installation part and the setup. Then we convert data, as much data as we need. That's kind of according to your needs as a customer. And so, and after that, obviously we do training and make sure that you know how the product works. And then testing, that's up to you and us, the kind of relationship as you test. And then of course, go live, and then the initial support for the first few months. And then we have ongoing support, obviously. But this is just a quick picture of what the process looks like for us. That process workshop is a very, very important step. So this is me. I am David, and we appreciate you guys coming today and attending our webinar. Again, we will share a link with you if you put your name in that Q&A. And so my contact information is right here. We'd love to hear from you if you're interested in moving on from your old system or looking at a new ERP, or if you think Business Central would be a great fit for you, then let's talk. Thanks so much for being here today, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.